Good afternoon, Muskegon.
Good afternoon.
This is Tony Williams.
And I'm Chauncey Williams, and this is What Do I Do Now? Your guide to credit, debt, and planning for your financial success.
All right, Chauncey, look like we finally turned the corner. And old man Winter has cut us some break.
Yes, he has. I had a spring little leather jacket on. I walked outside and say, it's time to retire that.
Yeah.
To the khaki jacket.
Well, I left the house this morning, man, had my stocking hat on and my winter coat because, that's what they told us was going to happen, but I wasn't going to play. I wasn't going to take them at their word. But, yeah, it has turned out to be one beautiful week and weekend, and I think we made it. We finally turned the corner, which is great. But, man, before we get into our subject matter, we got to talk about the NBA the other night. I think that was a historical night for the NBA.
Both events.
Yeah.
The 73 wins and Kobe scoring 60. Taking how many shots he take, though? 50?
I didn't even look at the stat line. Okay.
But, hey, he did it. Nobody else went out in their last game. But I guess we're in the social media era where you can orchestrate, but you can't program 60 points.
No.
Unless you give him all layups.
Right, and they weren't all layups now. I mean, yeah, some of those shots were uncontested, but he made them.
Yeah, that's right. So you could say, hey, we're going to have a big night, but you can't just be like, right, we're going to let him get 50 tonight.
Yeah, I really honestly don't think that happened. I just think that, it was just, players will tell you some nights the basketball hoop looked like a garbage can, just big, and everything they throw up go in. And
in that zone.
He was in that zone, man.
Yep. And then plus it's like he was just looking like, hey, this is my last game, so I could have all the shin splits and
right
quads. If I pull something, I'm out of there.
He good for the rest of his life. He go soak in ice for days if he want to.
Yep.
So he let it all hang out last night, man.
Now he got to be daddy now.
Yeah.
Daddy daycare.
Oh yeah.
He retired.
Right. So his life is about to change.
Yeah.
Which is good. If you're a fan of Kobe or not. I still think you got to look at what the guy have accomplished over his career, and applaud him for that.
Yeah.
Because the guy had an outstanding career.
I got one Kobe story. Like I like Kobe. I like him as a player and everything. I got one Kobe story. I didn't really follow his career because I always going against him. I always been a Pistons fan.
Right.
I always just been always been biased. I always been East Coast. But I always study people. So one story I'm gonna get to, and then we'll move on. But he was on the Olympics team.
Okay.
Years ago. I think it was like one of the first teams, like a 08 or 010 or something. And he was a senior statesman, I think, with LeBron.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And he was on that team, and it was a guy that was just breaking into the business of working out with people and training them. So then Kobe said, hey, man, let's work out. I was like, okay. So I would love to work out with you, Kobe, anytime. He said, I'll call you. Right?
Okay.
So he get a call at 3:30 in the morning. He said, yeah, man, what you doing, man? I said, I wanted to tell Kobe I was asleep.
Right.
But he was like, I ain't doing nothing. He said, come to the gym and work me out.
Let's get it on. Okay.
Yeah. So he go to the gym, work him out. Say we work out till like from 3:30 to like 6:30 in the morning. He said, I go back to my room and go to sleep. I try to. Because we got an 8:30 shoot around. He said, Kobe dressed in sweat. He said, I'm gonna go lay down. He said, I came back, Kobe had the same clothes on for practice. Still in the gym.
That I have heard similar stories.
Nocturnal,
man.
like he don't sleep.
Yeah. They said that he would actually, get into the gym at the Forum and practice, like you said, in the wee hours of the morning. And when guys showed up, he might have went back and took a nap in his car. And the question was, well, so it was such an elaborate facility, why didn't they have some place for him to sleep? But, I have heard similar stories to how this guy was so driven and dedicated to his craft that those are the kind of things he did.
Yeah, so
amazing.
So I don't know. He ain't gonna be able to handle the retirement pretty good. He might go over to Italy like his daddy and average 30 over there.
Okay.
Because he just that good. So I just want to share that story. Then Stephen Curry and them beat Michael Jordan's record. I thought they wasn't gonna get it. Cause I've seen San Antonio Spurs twice. Who did they play last night again?
They played. Wow, who did they play for the record, man? I can't even think. Because Memphis almost beat them. I watched that game.
Yep, that was 1 point. Then they played San Antonio twice.
They played San Antonio
I
twice.
can't remember the last game. I can't remember.
Can't either. I don't know if it was a team out west. They were on the West Coast. It was a home game, but you're absolutely right. They're so oblivious to who the opponent was because at the end of the game, it wasn't even about who they were.
Yeah,
okay, it was all about this team and them breaking a record. And I don't, never say never, but I think, it'll be a long time.
Man, 9 games.
Before we see that again.
They got to play against. I mean, how did the rest of the NBA feel?
It's like, yeah.
Like they lost 9 games. That
right.
means we talking about millionaires running into all type of social problems, things. They got families. That's a crazy focus.
It is crazy, man. It is absolutely crazy. I mean, there are teams through the playoffs could potentially lose 9 games and still win a championship, potentially.
Yep. Like Shaq and them, that one year, they lost 1 game. That was to Allen Iverson.
Right.
In those finals.
Right.
They ran through everybody else, but they didn't win no 70 games.
Nope. Mm-mm.
They won like 63 or something like that, or 61.
Amazing feat, man. With the grind, with the travel. Because there were games, man, like the Grizzlies game. They had played the night before, flew back to California, and then played the Grizzlies that night.
Yep.
So it wasn't like these guys had a whole lot of rest in between. And, that's just one event in their schedule throughout the season. So the NBA is a grind, man. And you have to, again, take your hat off to those guys for hanging in there with the same amount of vigor that every night. And you watch them struggle. Some nights they did struggle.
Yep.
But they knew how to win.
I mean, then we got the young fella from our city of Muskegon.
Oh, yeah.
I look at the city as a whole that there's only 300 NBA players for one of our people from our city to be considered as a young freshman to take that leap of faith into that organization. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. I'm a college graduate. I mean, 3 times removed. If I get an opportunity to take a leap like that, that not even a 1% makes.
Right.
And you're considered to be in the top 5% guys. Hey, I'm taking that. So I'm proud of that kid, and I can say
we wish him nothing but the best, man.
Nothing but the best. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I don't begrudge him for that decision, and I just hope and pray that it was a good decision, and he takes care of himself, because it is going to be a whole different lifestyle.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and we're only talking about 1 year removed from high school.
And from our community.
From our community. And he's about to travel, the world potentially, as well as all the cities in the U.S. to play basketball. So, again, we hope nothing but the best and pray that he has longevity in his career.
Because he makes our city look good. He do it.
Absolutely.
We'll be in a time and era. Because I'm too young to know about Burton. MC
Burton.
Right,
right.
Wilt Chamberlain wanted him to play with him with the Lakers, but he told him, no, I want to get my PhD. I've heard stories like that from the Burton guy. So I look at it now like, man, that I get to be in a time and age where I get to see a player that somebody I know, Coach Guy, that I went to high school with and seen him play, was part of this maturation and developing this kid. So it's just good to seeing that people that you grew up with as kids are able to take somebody to a level that's exceed expectation.
Totally exceed expectations.
That's beautiful.
And I really think that there are guys in the league or out of the league, such as a Magic Johnson, or Steve Smith, these guys that are alumni of Michigan State, will probably reach out to him and said, hey, we want you to come sit down. We have some conversations about what this life is going to be about.
About this money.
Help
That's what we're talking about today.
Help you manage this money. Put the kinds of people around you that we know personally that's going to look out for your best interest. So at the end of the day, it turns out to be a great decision to move on.
That's right. So now it brings us to our situation today. We got a deadline coming up, don't we?
Yes.
End of another season.
Tax season.
Tax season.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where we at.
Everybody pays taxes at some form or another if you live in this country.
Well, they say it's 2 things you can't escape: death and taxes.
That's right. Especially if you live in America.
You're exactly right.
It's the greatest country on earth, and I don't mind paying my fair share. I am not going to complain about paying taxes.
We have a lot of freedoms. We have a lot of freedoms to enjoy with that, paying that.
That's right. That's right. So
it helps to pay that system.
Yeah, and you got to play by the rules. All right. We got the IRS is the guys that basically develop the rules that we have to play by when it comes to filing our taxes.
Okay. Yep. I brought some things in today, just dealing with what past situations and how people dealt with the IRS and dealing with them. And some of them is some options you have when it comes to that deadline. If you do have a bill, when paying them, so it's like 4 options. The first thing is pay them in full. If you can do it, like you say, you got a check ready. Like, here you go. It's X amount of dollars. Here go the check. Hey, pay. Secondly, it's pay a monthly installment agreement. Sometimes that bill's so big. I had a case where that I was reading, and it say someone owed $188,000 in taxes.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Because they claimed like a bankruptcy, and they filed their taxes, and then the bill came for what they owed.
Okay.
So they owed $188,000. And I was just like, wow, I'm reading this article. I'm like, I've never seen an amount that large that I owe. I mean, I've owed $15,000, but I approached it in the same situation that these people did. They ended up paying, on that bill, they ended up paying probably like $8,000. But over a term where they had a monthly installment.
Okay.
Because it was based on their bankruptcy, and they was able to get a compromise.
Okay.
They submitted a compromise, and it worked out. So they had an installment where they paid them a little amount when they was going through their bankruptcy. When they had their funds, they was paying like $50 a month.
Mm-hmm. On a huge debt.
Yeah, on a huge debt. But that's because their income was at a certain place. So that's all they could do. And then something they didn't want to get is a tax lien. You don't want no tax lien.
Oh, yeah. You got to know about the tax lien.
Get it off.
Yeah.
So another one is reduce, eliminate, or pay the debt through bankruptcy, or offer, like I said earlier, a compromise. I said legally you offer a compromise, submit it. I believe that in the past, that when I owed a large amount of tax dollars, I had a tax pro, somebody that was a professional that can call the tax people for me and negotiate that deal. So that's what happened. I can't imagine. I can remember the day I got the bill, Tony.
Okay.
It was like in 2003. I looked, I said, $15,000. Like, what I do? And I was thinking about all the business investments and things I had and things I was doing. I was like, yeah.
Okay.
My account was like, brother, it's time to pay the piper now. It's time to get it together. But he said you had some other things in place that just we'll wait it out and we'll see what we can do. And he said, I'll contact him for you. And just, the calm nature. And see, when you deal with professionals, it's not like they don't panic. It's like, let me A, B, and C. This is the plan of action. This is what we're going to do.
Right.
Let me handle this for you.
Yeah, that's why you have guys like that, like you said, in your circle, because this is not their first rodeo. But you're absolutely right. You cannot ignore the IRS.
Yeah, because they got ways of
getting your attention.
Man, they got ways.
Levy, seizing. Okay, those are two things, like you said. You don't want those two words to be injected into the conversation with the IRS. Levy and seizing.
Yep, it's that's funny that I'm looking at my information I had today. That seizure power.
Okay.
I would think I would change it to, if you don't know nothing, it would be the real, like seizure, like you couldn't control yourself because
right. You will have a mental seizure.
Yeah, and you mentioned it. There's several debts that you can't escape, and they are, number one, tax debts. Number two, because I've tried it, student loans. You can't escape. They come in your death to get you. I'm glad I'm working with people that I can help them get out of that situation somewhat, but not all of it. Child support, you can't escape, and it was a time where they didn't have a system like that. So.
No, they didn't track it.
Okay, and then the last one is debts incurred by fraud. So those type of things, they never leave you. Those are automatic stays that you can't escape. You can't say I'm not paying this. They're gonna be there. You can't put them in a bankruptcy and say. No, you can't hide from the tax people. They have ways around where they can go on your bank accounts, your wages, take property for you.
Seize property, yes.
All that. And they only have to grant a hearing. A lot of times you get like you're about to get garnished or something. They say, send a letter to your client or something.
Right.
I'm about to get garnished. I got so many days. No. They're
No.
Show up at your door.
The next thing you know, you got garnished.
Yeah. They show up at your door. They only have to go through the process. Say, we come to get that car.
Yeah.
Get that out of the garage. Took the garage door off and take it. I've seen it happen in major cities where somebody I knew had like a Grand Marauder, real nice car, and he owed back taxes. Okay, and I think he was working for himself, doing houses, and he was a barber. He's like, yeah, I got the Marauder in the garage. I'm good.
Okay,
that's worth this much. And when they first came out, it was like $50,000 cars back in the day.
Right.
That's crazy. Back in the day, it could be 2003. So it was black, triple black. It was beautiful. Had the man on the front. They just brought him back. So they ended up. He's like, man, I owe taxes. That's all right. I'm just gonna say I'm cutting here and I'm be good.
Yeah, they'll go away.
They took the garage door off the car like they was he thought somebody stole it. He called the insurance because they like, no, they got that for a tax levy.
Tax levy, yeah. Because you know what they did? They checked with the DMV, state of Michigan, find out what kind of automobiles the guy had registered in his name, and said, oh, we got a piece of value, we got a car that's worth some money here. Let's find out where it's at. We're going to go get it.
The garage door was missing. I remember seeing
They don't play, man.
You can't even get that.
They don't play. Nope. They will attach your estate. Like you said, if you die and your estate is probated, they're in line with everybody else to get their piece of your money. So they actually come after you when you dead.
So yeah, you can't. Or this you can't avoid them. If you got a tax bill right now, and the deadline coming up, go on and handle that bill the best way you possibly can. I just recommend hiring a professional help. Some people say that costs too much. You gonna pay
Either
one way or another. And I would like to be able to know that with a conscious mind, I'm paying an amount that I believe that somebody went to war and fought for me to the best ability that they could in their profession.
Yeah, that's what you want, man. And, then you also got to understand the laws of the IRS. They do have the IRS Fresh Start program, which offers qualified taxpayer an opportunity to prevent or remove the liens. Because like you say, once they place a lien on a piece of property, you may still be, they may not actually take possession of it at that time, but you can't do anything with that property. You can't sell it, be it a car or the real estate that you own, your own personal home. So you're right. You cannot ignore these guys. They will not go away.
Like that list get ready to come out again for the year for them houses, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for tax. The tax sale. For people
Tax
that
sale.
don't pay their taxes, they actually take possession. I had a guy, actually he was a relative. He had a good job. And got a knock on the door one day, and it was the sheriff. Sheriff showed up and told him his house has just been sold in a tax auction. This brother worked all his life, and it's like, how could you let that happen?
He never paid taxes on the house?
Didn't pay taxes on the house, man, in the hikes.
He said, I'm paying. And see, a
I'm
lot
gonna
of times,
ignore him.
Wow, I'm going to ignore him.
Yeah, I'm not paying no property tax. And guess what? He had to move. And unfortunately, in this day and age, if you living with like in your mama's basement or somebody's couch, you homeless. Okay,
Yeah.
So they will make you homeless.
Yeah.
All right, they don't care.
Called couch surfing.
Yeah. This dude was old dude, man. He like 65 years old.
You know what he got? That's that mindset that be like, I got a right to this. This is mine. I worked 30-something years. I paid this house off. I ain't paying no taxes.
Right.
But the
Okay.
taxes keep things clean, supposedly, streets.
Yeah,
Supposed to be maintenance. But then if you don't have a lot of people paying or a lot of businesses that's running the industry, I can understand that he got frustrated in it and was like, I'm not paying nobody none.
Well,
That's when you got to go to the voting and the politician side of it, try to control those issues.
or seek, like you say, some professional guidance.
Yeah.
If he'd have knocked on anybody's door to say, hey, this is the situation, because I know, that the guy had to have received notices. And if you ignore them, that's fine.
Man.
But if you get them, you just go talk to somebody. Say, here I'm at. What should I do?
That's what I've been told by different IRS people. I got a friend, he's retired, and he said, when you do that, when you ignore it,
Oh,
you know what they have? There's so many, it's millions of people. They have, it's a plan of action. They have plan of action.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go in, when they put up your name in the system, if they automate call you, say, this is the IRS, please call us back at this time, such and such, we want to talk about you with an issue. All right? Say you don't call that time back, they give you like a 2-day or a 48-hour grace period to call.
Mm-hmm.
You don't call, they take you to the next step immediately.
okay.
So the computer system updates. So if you ignore the bill, they send you, then you get the phone call. Ignore the phone call, then you get the levy, then you get the lien. So it's like, they go through the process. So
It
then
is.
when you like, oh, I didn't know, I wanted some help. Can you help me now? Now you be talking,
Nope.
getting belligerent, and you becoming emotionally, your emotional hygiene. I call it your attitude starts stinking. And your attitude stink. Then you like, oh, nobody gonna help me. I can't get here. I can't get there. And then now you complaining because you done made yourself the victim instead of building the victory in the tax situation. And I got one point up here. It talks about a 53 on your case. Get a 53, and it's basically saying that you can get a year to say, all right, but you got to be able to prove that you can't pay, or you can be able to say, can you suspend my tax bill for this 1 year?
Okay.
So then now they reboot you in the system, and they'll say, all right, we start them at the bottom again.
Mm-hmm.
But you get that one call, but you got to prove that you can handle that situation.
Okay.
For that 1 year. So then, but after that, they coming right at you with that same process.
Yeah, but it's communication, though.
Yep, it's
okay,
communication.
you've actually had some dialogue with these people via the telephone or in writing.
And this
okay?
computer stuff, this computer age, just like social media, they can get your DM, your direct message, your inbox you. They just like they faster. We think we
Okay.
can contact somebody fast. They fast and they good and they know where you at.
That's right.
They can find you. So don't think that you can avoid the tax people. You can't.
No. If you receive any mail and it has the logo of the IRS, open it up and read it.
That's worse than
Okay.
your worst nightmare.
They make mistakes, but don't think that they're going to go away because you feel like they have made a mistake. You have to call them and produce whatever evidence they require to show them that, yep, you're not delinquent on your taxes. You have paid your taxes, on time. Because if you don't, then the situation only gets worse.
And then also talking about other ways you can buy time. Like we talked about the 53, it give you a year's worth of time, but it takes a lot. You gotta have tax pro probably prove that for you.
Okay.
But it's one of the ways is question the accuracy of your tax bill. Do it right. It should give you an automatic extension of more time. Secondly, you can file an amendment tax return where you can you can have evidence that there may be a question about your actual bill. This helps the delay process. But they can tell if you lying.
Okay.
They can tell. They know.
Yeah.
If you a repeat offender, when it comes to the money situation, they know what's going on. They able to pull your previous years and see what you're doing with your life.
Okay. I had a friend of mine down in Kalamazoo, was a tax preparer, and done taxes probably the last 20 years. And the IRS decided they would conduct an audit of the tax preparer because they get audited too. And unfortunately, they noticed a lot of inconsistencies in their tax business. They're not in federal court right now. In federal court,
The audit is a hard thing to go.
and then they continue to look at all the folks that did business with this preparer.
Yeah, they life. Yeah.
Okay, not only the preparer, but all those folks that they did prepare their taxes for, because they felt if you cheated on yours, you probably cheated on everybody else's. So now all those folks are subject to an audit.
I call it sweeping the floor.
Okay.
You know, you sweep the floor when you was a kid. Like a lot of kids, they got luxury where they got the carpet, the vacuum. We had the broom. We had to sweep the floor with the broom.
Okay.
The carpet with the broom. Like, sweep that carpet. You're like, I got to sweep it with a broom. No, this is how you do it. So, but then you had that flow, and sometimes people had that dust. You sleep it up under the carpet when you were a little kid.
Right.
So then the IRS come and say, hey, there's some dirt up under there.
Right.
The carpet look good on the top.
Lift that carpet up. See
Lift
what's
that
under
up.
there.
Who else up under there? So that's what you talking about. I've seen that.
That's the like we was talking about, the professionals, the reputable folks. Okay, when you're dealing with the IRS, you just can't let everybody do your taxes, because ultimately something may raise a red flag with these guys, and if that's the case, they're going to investigate it and determine whether or not your information has been accurate. And if not, the burden of proof is on you. Okay, the burden of proof is on you to prove that you were forthwith on your tax preparing.
Yep, you're right. So let's say if we're in a situation like you just mentioned, like you owe taxes, you got that bill in the mail, and you have no clue. Like you been avoiding them, and you done heard this, you done accidentally turned this on today, or you've been listening, and you like, that sound like me. I got a tax bill, I got my own business, and I work for myself, but I've been putting it off.
Okay.
I've had cases like this with friends or business associates that I had that starting out in business, and they work for themselves, and they think like, okay, I got this tax bill. And it's just sitting there. And just keep on, and they waiting. First thing you do, you don't never want to lie to the IRS. Secondly, it's a crime.
Yeah.
Become a tax pro, hire one fast. Because what they can do is they can proceed and arrange a time for your tax pro to call the collector back and give them, the tax collector, their phone and their name and phone number. So you want to make sure that you can do that. That's the first thing. Don't think that you could do it on your own.
Can't do it.
It's a lot of things I want to do. Like my wife say this, she's like, you're not domesticated no more. You done got spoiled. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you know how to fix on cars and everything. I said, I still do. So you ain't ready to get dirty no more. I'll say, I am.
Okay.
But when you look at stuff that you have no knowledge in,
That's right.
we're not talking about fixing no car, no tire.
No, we can change the
Yeah,
tire.
we can do all that. Or balance the checkbook, small things like that. But we talking about your taxes. And then we talking about when people can go back on 7 years on you and you done did something wrong and they ain't audited you. I've been audited before.
You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a thorough situation.
Yeah. Not pretty.
And I ain't do nothing wrong. I ain't get in trouble with anything. I came back clean because I had a tax pro.
Okay.
For the last 7 years, he was like, oh, I got it. I can go right. And I had it too in my file cabinet at home. I was like, I had all 7.
Okay. Yeah. You better keep them.
But he was like, I got you, Chauncey. You don't got to mail anything. I'll send it to them. So I sat back. I waited. He was like, boom. Check came that time. I was
Okay.
like, look at this. Like how my tax pro say, you okay. Don't worry about it. Say, you've been doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Right. You've been honest about your taxes.
It's just like I look at it like being a doctor. Or like, when you go get a health checkup, you sit there and a doctor say, all right, I need you to take these vitamins,
Okay.
take this fish oil, make sure you're doing so much amount of exercise. Your tax pro and your accountant, those people are like your financial health,
Yes. Yes.
your financial bill. Because I try to go every 6 months to the doctor. They say, oh, you don't need to come on once a year. I'm like, well, my insurance deep is enough. I want to come twice. I'm an athlete. So I want to be able to see if I can push my body when them summer months come after the winter months. So I'm coming in twice. And by having somebody like an accountant, a CPA, a financial advisor to do that financial checkup on you,
Right.
that's good. Because the taxes is one time. But what about who are you sitting down with when your income increases? You know?
Right.
Or
'Cause
like
you're
when
going
you said you have more kids. Or like you got a tax situation. Who you going to call?
Yep.
Who you really
Yeah.
going to call?
Yeah, because if you have an increase in income, then maybe you need to adjust your deductions.
Yep.
Because at the end of the year, you continually getting this additional income, so you may have to pay more than what you would really, or get more back potentially. It could work both ways. But the thing is, like, you need to find out for sure. Don't wait till April 18th to think about what things you should have done last year for your taxes.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. So we're just trying to make sure that you can make sure you communicate, don't hide. Keep everything documented when you talk to them on the phone. Who you talk to, what was their number, what agency, when they represent the IRS, what part of the country they in, all that, first and last name. So you can have that written down. So when you go to your tax pro, if you don't have one, you say, this who contacted me at this time and this date on these times. And this is what I said to them.
Right. That's good.
Keep a journal or a log. And then once you do that, I think you'll be okay if you're in a situation where you're like, I'm about to face the deadline, I got to file.
Well, facing the deadline means you can ask for an extension, okay?
Yep.
Form 4868, and we'll give you to October 17th to file your taxes. And, of course, if you owe money, there's additional interest and penalties that could come into play. But do not ignore the deadline. And you can file these online. You just go to the IRS website, click on Form 4868, fill it out, electronically send it in, and you automatically will get an extension. It will not deny you an extension.
I had some brief terms when I was looking over this. I say some people might not know exactly what they mean. So I have a tax lien. A tax lien is a notice to the world that you owe taxes. This is done by the recording of the federal tax lien at your county's records office. So you don't know what that means. I've had customers with credit reports that say tax lien, property.
Yeah.
It's said right on there, and then we'll try to fight it. That's the hardest things to fight because they got to pay them. You got to pay them.
Yep.
Judgments and things like that. Only way we can move them off your credit report, you got to pay them.
You got to pay them
You
because it
can't
went that
escape
far.
those. Yeah, it went that far. They gave you so many chances. When they mail you them papers and they give you a phone call, they letting you know, like, we're trying to work with you. We're trying to work with you. But when they hit you there, that tax lien, they try to tell you that you like a tax deadbeat.
Yep. They're done with you.
So
We're
look
gonna
at
get
it
our
like,
money.
we need our streets fixed and stuff like that. People don't pay their taxes. They the tax deadbeats.
Right.
We need you to pay your taxes. So everything can be better, schools and everything. So that's how I look at it. Because you report it to Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian if you don't. I talked about this earlier. What is a tax levy? When I talked about one of my buddies having a Grand Marar, and they seize that property, they'll take it. If you owe, they'll take it. They coming to get it. They don't have to have the court paper or anything. They show up. They don't have to go through the process of the 60 days.
There's no court proceedings they go through.
Yep, they just come through. They the tax people.
Yeah.
They know you they owe, and they sent you the notices, and they coming.
They're powerful.
Yep, they know how to do it. So when they come, they hit you. You might have some time. They like, all right, this is gonna be a levy. You're like, okay. You might need to contact the tax pro, but it might to the point where it's too late.
Yeah.
With that time, with that grace period.
If you get that lien,
Because 30 days is nothing.
nothing.
That's too fast. I don't know if you can gather all the money that you owe in taxes in 30 days. So and you can do it all by yourself. So that's why it's good to contact a tax pro. They have the lingo and the language because there's so many books. It changes every
Yeah, the tax laws, tax codes change every year.
Especially depending on the president.
Right.
You get a Democrat president, Republican, they're gonna make it fit to what their policy is.
Yeah, because now there's the new piece with the healthcare reform that you have to claim on your taxes now, which is huge.
I got that form like a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, it's huge, and you can't ignore that because there's a penalty for not having health insurance now.
Yeah, so I got that paperwork. So it's like, I know they take out my paycheck for that. So I got to send that in, but that could benefit me as a taxpayer.
It has benefited me.
Yep. So I'm there. I'm ready. They've been taking a nice chunk. Blue Cross and Blue Shield been hitting me across the head.
Okay.
So that's why I go to the doctor.
I know it gets your money's
He's
worth.
like, oh, you get free insurance. No, I do. I get good insurance, and I'm paying for it.
And you pay for it.
I'm paying a good penny, too.
Go to the doctor.
Go to the doctor. So that's what I want to tell you. So don't think like, oh, you got good insurance and it's free because you're a teacher. No, they charging us, too.
Oh, yeah.
Those
days when we're paying hardly anything for medical insurance are gone.
That's out of there, brother. So this is the recap. This is looking back at I'm just taking a moment and having flashback in my mind about things I've been through. That if I ain't have my tax pro Tony, you probably wouldn't even see me sitting here today.
Okay.
Because I was young and dumb and I made some decisions. Every time I talk to my tax pro, he's an older guy, he just say, Chauncey, I told you A, B, and C, not A, B, and D.
You skipped a step, okay?
You skipping steps and things you doing. And he'll laugh at me, say, look, because he said, come on, let's go have some dinner or lunch together. We'll sit down. And he'll start telling me some stories about people that had. He said, you see you ain't in this situation. So then he'll set me up and we'll move on and he'll tell me my next plan for next year or what I should accomplish.
Absolutely. I mean, we read all the time about, especially athletes, getting these huge contracts and neglect to pay their fair share of taxes. And, an interesting story I heard was that as a professional player, when you play in each city,
that's a tax.
You have to pay the taxes in that city for the day in which you play ball. So that it can be very complicated. So therefore, you got to have a tax pro.
You know how they tax that though?
No, how they tax it?
Your whole year's salary off that day.
Really? For the city taxes? Wow. Amazing.
They go off your gross for the year.
Because you played in that particular city. So if you played in 15 cities, then you got 15 different tax returns that you have to file just for city income taxes. Man, that's incredible. But
that's why the large contract he'll be looking at, it shrinks so fast.
Yeah.
Oh, he got $100 million. No, he don't. He probably got 38.
Yeah. Yeah, because
he's
in a tax bracket. And then when he get to 38,
he ain't win the lottery. Like you win the lottery, you got your money. Like you say, I'm gonna take the lump sum. Okay, you got the lump sum. You still got to report that too.
You pay that up front. They get that before you do.
I know, but I'm saying like some people think that, like when you get a superb athlete, you got that money like that. No, you don't. Once you get that lump check, they hitting that and they hit it again. Then you got lawyer fees, association fees. You got state taxes, luxury taxes.
Agent, you got to pay your agent.
Yep, you luxury tax. We're not like we talking about average American. What 38, 36%?
Yeah.
Then you talking about you in a whole nother universe.
For taxes, yes.
That check, that $1 million look like 300,000, 250.
If you don't manage it right, yes, sir.
After they go through what they go through, it's crazy because you don't get that $200,000 house anyway. So then now you like, how much that cost to maintain? But that's a whole other show and another topic. But we just want to make sure that you stay on it. Hire a tax pro or an accountant or somebody that's reputable in your community that you can have a consistent relationship with, that you can pick the phone up and you can contact them at any time. Look at your financial health when it comes to taxes, just like your personal health and your physical health.
Absolutely.
Every year after you do your taxes, take that down, that adjusted gross income, the things you itemize if you do that, because that's what I do. Go through and say, all right, this was my goal last year. This is how I did last year. This is how I can do next year. Let me set some goals for myself as a plan of action and what I want to save. That's my thing.
That's it.
What I want to keep.
Good information.
What I want to give. So that's our show today. Looking at tax liens and tax levies and beating the deadline.
Okay.
Two things you can't beat is what? Death
and taxes.
The deadline is when?
Monday, April the 18th. They gave us a few extra days. Normally it's the 15th. But I guess for whatever reason, it's a leap year, 1 extra day. So here it is. We got April 18th. Postmarked. Got to be a postmark. So you got till midnight, April 18th, to get it in the mail or electronically file it. But after that, you're late.
Okay, I'm Chauncey Williams.
And I'm Tony Williams.
This is What Do I Do Now? Your guide to credit, debt, and planning for your financial success with 103.7 The Beat. 103.7 The Beat. 103.7 The Beat. 103.7 The Beat. 103.